Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is a list of every single side quest that's been found on Citadel Day More. We'll be doing the Rat King Easter egg. We'll be getting all the free power-ups. We'll do chests, free PhD, free other perks, and a whole lot more. So without further ado, let's begin with just a recommendation, which is to open up the map and activate the Pack-a-Punch machine, and then go and talk to Craft before you try and do any of these other side quests, just because it'll make them more consistent to actually work in your games. So, our first one is going to be the PhD Flopper Easter egg, also known as the Bartending Easter egg. This one's really nice because the PhD Flopper machine is not present on the map. You can only get that perk from either the Wonder Fizz machine, which spawns in at round 25, or by doing one of these free perk Easter eggs. And this one gives you guaranteed PhD. So, we're going to be doing some bartending, and before we can start bartending, we need to grab 3 bottles. The first one is in the Undercroft, and it's going to be next to a guy just laying out on the couch. He's just chilling, dude, and maybe we're grabbing his beer bottle. Sorry, buddy. The second beer bottle can be found just across from Stamina Up, and it's on this shelf just by the, I think, bottom rack. And the third beer bottle is near a couch again, but this time it's in the room with the 4 knights, so follow where I'm going in the gameplay here, and you'll find the bottle on the floor. Once you've picked up all 3 bottles, come to the bar or the tavern in the spawn area of the map, and head behind the bar and hold square on this silver tray. That's going to start the bartending Easter egg, and basically you need to look behind you at the colored drinks and then serve those drinks to the corresponding colored zombies. And once you're bored, you can just leave the bar, like that is an option, or you can just stay there, and I'm pretty sure it will end when the round ends, but whichever you choose, you'll get a load of points from doing this, and then you'll also get your free PhD flopper when you leave at the end as well. Next, let's do the Mr. Peaks music Easter egg. Now, there's actually some other music Easter egg stuff on this map that we'll cover later in the video, but for now, the basic Mr. Peaks one works in the following way. You've just got to hold square on 3 little headsets or walkie-talkies or whatever, and the first one can be found just here by the gates near the speed cola machine. The second is down in the water room, pretty close by actually to where we grabbed the bottle before for the bartending Easter egg, and the third one is in the bar that we were just bartending in. So maybe Mr. Peaks has been following us around trying to do the bartending Easter egg, who knows? Either way, hold square on all 3 of those, and then the Easter egg song will play. Now, speaking of Mr. Peaks, let's play hide and seek with Mr. Peaks. To start this, come to the room with Elemental Pop in it, and look up through this window, and if you're standing where I'm standing, you should be able to see Mr. Peaks dancing in the sky. Now, this isn't going to work for you if another player in your game is also already looking at Mr. Peaks through that window. There's just some weird rules about how this works, so you need to be the one person looking through the window for Mr. Peaks here, and then you should be able to see him up there, and if you quickly aim down sight and shoot him, he'll spin around and then he'll disappear. Now, there's another weird quirk with this Easter egg, which is that it seems like if you've got a sniper and you aim down sight for too long and then you shoot Mr. Peaks, it won't activate the Easter egg. And I think the reason for this is that it's kind of a hide and seek Easter egg where you need to just kind of quickly spot him. So if you're having any trouble for some reason, just try either using like an akimbo weapon like I'm using here, so I'm hip firing to shoot him, or just try quick scoping like I'm going to do with the next Mr. Peaks location in just a moment. But yeah, that can be the solution if you're having any issues with the fact that for some reason it's just not activating. Now, the second Mr. Peaks location is going to be visible from the barn, so head into the barn behind Deadshot and then look through this window, and he's really small and hard to make out from this location, but if you've got a sniper, it's going to be pretty easy, but you can also activate it without a sniper. And so again, shoot Mr. Peaks and he'll disappear. The third location for Mr. Peaks is inside the night room. Come onto the first floor little walkway here, and I know Americans call it the second floor, but Americans are wrong. So come onto the first floor and then take aim at Mr. Peaks in the tower here, and once again, the way that I made this work is I quickscoped him, and once you hear his little laugh, you know that he's moved, and his final location is down in the dungeon. Specifically, he's going to be on the opposite side of the room to quick revive, and you need to find him in this cell here and then shoot him one more time, and that will give you a free perk. The next Easter egg on our list is Maya specific. You have to be playing as Maya, and when you're playing as Maya, around round 12 or 13, if you come over to this metal box, you'll hear a Morse code signal, and if you hold square on the box, you'll have a little interaction with a person on the other side, and then you can hold square on this door, and it will take you into a little kind of lockdowny type sequence where a load of bugs attack you, and then there are 2 big ghasts for you to take down. Once you kill those ghasts, you can pick up a key that they drop, and then you can just head through the little corridor here, and on the other side, you'll be pulled through into a cutscene, which is pretty awesome, and then when you get out of the room afterwards, it will give you a free gun, and you can get some other free goodies on the floor around you as well. Next, we've got a couple of things that you can do with the cannon. So first of all, once you've used the cannon at the start of your game to get into the castle, you'll then see that the cannon is facing towards the spawn, right? And if you hop into the front of the castle, it will act as a fast travel and you'll be able to get back to spawn. And that's how you can get yourself some of the free power-ups that will occasionally spawn on the roof. And it's also how you can get the intel that's lying on the roof. And for this, I recommend you change your interact setting to tap to interact. And then you just need to swivel as you go past the intel and press square and you should be able to grab it. But there's another Easter egg associated with the cannon as well. Actually, there's two. For the first one, once you've used the cannon that first time, if you go back to the spawn, you can grab a little wheel from this box here. And then if you go back to the knight's room, you can grab a blowtorch from just here nestled in the corner. Then go back to the cannon, hold square on this little thing here, and you'll deposit those parts and you'll be able to rotate the cannon once more. And this means that you can point it back towards the knight's room and use it as a fast travel to get to there instead of going back to the spawn every single time. But if you leave it facing the spawn, if you use the cannon 100 times, which costs 50,000 points total, I know it sounds crazy, but that's genuinely what you need to do for this next step, you will unlock yourself the pointless and very underwhelming monkey bomb Easter egg, because basically the 100th fire of the cannon will spit you out further than you are supposed to go, and you will hit the bell in the bell tower and cause that to start ringing for about a minute, attracting all the zombies on the map in the duration. And while that's happening, you'll also be able to scavenge on the ground around you, and there'll be some monkey bombs that you can pick up. But yeah, I feel like this is one of the most pointless Easter eggs in COD Zombies history, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you think there's a different one that's even worse. Now, we just covered some intel right on the roof. I'm just gonna explain how to get some other intel as well. One is gonna drop from killing amalgams, which isn't really an Easter egg, so I guess I shouldn't be including that, but the others do feel a little bit more Easter eggy. So one of the intels can be found by going to the barn and shooting this stack of pages in the rafters, and an intel will drop out. Another can be found by going into the alchemy lab and holding square on all the bookshelves, and once you do that, you can pop out another intel piece. And another one can be found by throwing a grenade into the well. And that is a nice segue for the well Easter egg as well. Haha, pun intended. So for this, you need to wait for a bug round, and then during the bug round, if you run up to the well, a little parasite will pop out after a couple of seconds. Kill that parasite and then throw a grenade into the well. When you do this, the explosion will cause 1,000 points to fly out of the well, and you can pick all of those up, and it will also allow you to start depositing money in the well should you so desire. And you might think, okay, well, I can just throw my money away down the well, what's the big deal? And well, I've got an answer for you. So sorry. If during that round, you throw 10,000 points into the well. And again, it's much faster to do this if you've got tap to interact turned on, because you can just spam that button. But if you've got 10,000 points and you throw all of that into the well, it's going to stop you putting any more points in. And then on your next bug round, if you come back to the well and throw a grenade in again, it's going to spit out all of those points, and they're going to be drops on the ground that you can pick up. But there are two sort of important things to note here. Number one is that there have been several bugs in Black Ops 6 Zombies recently, which have meant that all point drops have been automatically doubled from 100 to 200 points. So if one of those bugs is active when you're playing, you might actually get 20,000 points instead of 10,000. And second, if you popped a who's keeping score double points gobblegum, for example, you'd be able to get even more points from this. So let's say it spit up 20,000 points, you could get 40,000 all in one go. And because the points are on the ground, you can share those points with teammates as well. So we finally have point sharing in Black Ops 6 Zombies. And also a pro tip for this is that you can use a concussion grenade as well. It doesn't have to just be strictly a frag grenade. Next, we've got the fireplaces Easter egg, which is probably the most popular Easter egg on this map for people discovering part of it, but not realizing how the full thing works. I see this a lot in comment sections and stuff, so if you've been wondering what the deal is, this is what the deal is. Basically, we are going to grab 3 Molotovs in our game. Now, you can optionally do this with the built fire sword, but I haven't built the fire sword in my game here. I'm just holding the regular fire sword. And I'm going to go to this fireplace in spawn, and I'm going to Molotov it, and then I'm going to quickly take the fast travel into the main map. I'm going to craft myself another Molotov, and then I'm going to quickly run to this fireplace, which is in the stamina up room, throw my Molotov at it. Then I'm going to go into the alchemy lab and Molotov this fireplace, and then I'm going to go into the night room and Molotov this fireplace. And as you can see, when you do that, it's going to turn the fireplaces into a fireplace trap, which will fire out big fireballs that basically explode and kill zombies in the area. But it really doesn't last a very long time at all. And unfortunately, I've heard some rumors that this makes traps free, but in my experience, that's not the case. The oil trap still stays costing 1,000 points, so I think you just get the benefit of the fireballs from the fireplaces, but that seems to be about it so far. And I think you can also reactivate this every 5 rounds because the logs will come back every 5 rounds. But stay tuned, maybe hit the subscribe button, and if we find anything more to this, I'll obviously let you guys know in an update video. Next, let's do the next Easter egg song on the map. So for this, you need to be working on the fire sword, and I've got dedicated no-nonsense guides for all 4 of the swords individually with pro tips so you never get stuck on them ever again, linked in the description down below. But for fire specifically, you just need to have finished the brazier step, and then once you've picked up the fire sword, you can go back over to those 3 now empty braziers and melee the brazier with the fire sword, and once you've meleeed the 3rd one, a new Easter egg song will play, which is actually an extended version of the sort of timer sequence song that you get while you're doing the brazier step in the first place. Next, let's do another free perk Easter egg. So for this one, it's another one associated with the main quest Easter egg, so if you don't know how to do it, I've got it linked in the description down below. But for the purpose of this video, you just need to buy Melee Macchiato and then come and punch this wall to open up this code area. Then when you've done that, if you use all 4 of the incantations on the map on the wall, it will cause each line of the code to go blue one by one. And when you've made it go all blue, it will start a lockdown, and there'll be 3 phases of lockdown, and you'll be trapped inside the room. So be wary that this is gonna sort of test you a little bit. But this is amazing for earning loads of points. So yes, there's the sort of downside of you being stuck in the room for a while, but the upside is really very much there as well. And at the end of it, you get yourself a free perk. Next, let's do the chess Easter egg. This is going to get you a helpful companion. So for the first step of this, we need to find a chess piece, and it can be in one of 4 locations. The first is underneath the tavern near the fast travel, just on this shelf here, as you can see. The second is going to be in the elemental pop room opposite the perk, and it'll just be on top of the table just here. The third is going to be if you head up the stairs from Juggernog and go on the right-hand side corridor on a table once again, just near to this fan. And the last is by Quick Revive, and as you can see, it'll be just here on this table. So once you've found your chess piece, you need to bring it back to the stamina up room and then place it down on this table with the chessboard on it. Then you'll need to collect souls in the radius of the chessboard, and they'll flow into the chessboard. And for me, it took pretty much the whole round. Like, it was quite a lot of souls. So if you feel like yours is taking a real lot of souls, then don't worry about it. I guess it just needs a lot of charging, but I'm sure also if anyone has any tips for making this go faster, you guys might be able to share those in the comment section down below. So check the comment section as well. Then when it's done, a massive chess piece is going to spawn in. It's actually a pretty simple Easter egg, all things considered. And the chess piece is basically going to slam around, kind of moving in a chessboard-like fashion. And when it slams, it can attack and kill zombies for you and just generally help you out while you play the map. And sadly, unlike the Mega Stuffy from Terminus, it doesn't revive you. So it's a lot less useful than the Mega Stuffy, but it also takes a lot less work to do. So I kind of understand why that's the case. But yeah, that's the Knight Easter egg, or the chess Easter egg. Next, let's run through all of the free power-up Easter eggs on the map. There are 8 of them. First of all, for the free insta-kill, come to the spawn area and shoot the skull just here on the scaffolding. And sometimes this one's weird, and it doesn't always trigger when you shoot it for some reason. So maybe this is the same bug that I was experiencing with Mr. Peaks. I'm not sure. Either way, sometimes when you shoot it, it will work, and you'll get yourself your free insta-kill. Next is the free nuke power-up. This one is pretty difficult to see, to be honest, but if you're kind of opposite the Deadshot machine and you see this little glint in the distance, you can shoot it and get yourself a free nuke. Then for free max ammo, come to the Speed Cola area and you'll see it just sort of perched quite demurely on this little window here, so shoot it and you'll get free max ammo. Then inside the castle, if you stand up on the stairs, you'll be able to see a free max armor on the ceiling, so just shoot that and you get yourself a free max armor. Then inside the night room, if you head over to Vulture Aid and then look back across the room, you can see a free full power sitting on the roof, and you can shoot that to get yourself a free full power. Next, for double points, come into the alchemy lab, and just near this zombie spawn, you can see the double points just sitting in the very far back of the room there, and so you just need to shoot that to get yourself your free double points. And next, we're going to get bonus points from down in the water room, and that's behind the sofa, and if you shoot that, you'll get your free bonus points. And now, you've got 7 of them done, so that means you've unlocked Fire Sale. It works just like it does on Terminus and Liberty Falls. So for this, you're going to need to head over to the well, where we've already done a bunch of Easter eggs already, and you can just shoot the Fire Sale inside to get your free Fire Sale. Now, speaking of similar to Terminus and Liberty Falls, there's also a free 100 points Easter egg on this map from the snooker table. So come over to the snooker table, shoot the snooker balls, and 100 points will pop out. Next is the Rat King Easter egg, and for this one, there's actually a bit of misinformation online saying you have to lie down at all the rats, and that makes you really vulnerable, right? When you're just lying there, the zombies can just attack you from behind. So it turns out you actually just need to stand in the vicinity of the rats and look at them, and that will cause the rats to run away. That's all we're doing just to begin with here, is we're just trying to startle the rats and make them run. So the first rat that we need to find is just in front of the pies van, just near the spawn on the right-hand side of the spawn. The second rat is going to be inside the spawn, just underneath this little flower pot thing. And then we're going to take a quick pause in our rat startling activities to grab a wheel of cheese. To get this, you need to break this window, and then you'll be able to hold square and you'll see yourself pick the cheese up, and we'll kind of store that cheese for later. But now let's get back to startling rats. Rat 3 is just going to be in front of this zombie spawn, kind of near where Deadshot is. And just to be absolutely clear, you just need to make the rats run away, right? That's all we're doing at this step of the Easter egg. We're going to do the rest of the Easter egg in a moment. Rat 4 is on the castle ramparts, just near to where the cannon is. It's basically going to be hiding underneath the wooden steps there. Rat number 5 will be on the right side, just as you walk in, and you can see this one underneath this wooden chair. Number 6 will be inside the night room, underneath the wooden slats here. Number 7 is in the alchemy lab, and this one's going to be behind this stack of books behind the tablet here as well. Number 8 is in the sitting room, and it's going to be underneath a wooden bench at the back corner of the room here, just near the bunk beds. Number 9 is down in the water room, and you'll find it just next to this zombie spawn once again. And so at this point, if you go in the pap room and you check your plate, you should see that you've got 9 rats all circled around this plate. And then rat number 10 is going to be just past the quick revive machine on the left-hand side here, sitting or standing or whatever rats do, just behind this metal door. Once you've startled that rat, head back into the Pack-a-Punch room and you'll see you've now got 10 rats. And you can now place your wheel of cheese. When you do so, the rats will munch the wheel of cheese, you'll get a bunch of rewards, and you'll also see a mystical Rat King crown spawn in on the plate. And if you hold square on that, it will equip it and go onto your head, and if you go into third person, you can see yourself running around with it. Now you can synergize this with the lion sword, because the lion sword glows yellow in the same way, right? So the zombies community is actively digging into exactly how the continuation of this Easter egg might work. And so when I post a video on that, I'll link it on screen right now so you can click through to it and check out the full Rat King quest. And the same goes for the other unsolved mysteries in Black Ops 6 Zombies, so I'll link that on screen and you can simply click through and give that a watch. I'll see you there.